So, hello everyone. You are tuning in to Dose of Deborah Rehab for the Heart, and I'm your host, Dr. Deborah Howell. Today, I am truly honored to have my guest, Dr. Sheburra Haugsness. I hope I'm saying that right. And a little bit about Dr. Haugsness is she is the founder and president of the Academy of Universal Metaphysics, known as AUM. And this year we are having our um, first conference here with which is a holistic conference, um, in actually the end of this month, the 27th through the 29th. And now I'm getting back to Dr. Hagnes. She is the host of this event, and her background is as a formal CCSD teacher. Yeah, 15 years. And what's notable here is you had a spiritual awakening several years ago. Now we're in 2026, 2016. Oh, goodness. So, and which kind of led her on this path. And she took some of that, I guess, some of what you experienced into your teaching, and which led her to receive a Heart of Education Award, which maybe we can expand a little bit when we get going. And currently, though, what we are wanting to focus on today is this event, this Holistic Wellness Conference, which is an international conference, and you being the host and having the honor and opportunity to bring it to Las Vegas. And if you could maybe share with our listeners what this is about and why would they want to attend, and um, and support sort of your view and your heart and your passion behind, you know, saying yes to this opportunity to host it, because it
Yes.
seems like an enormous undertaking, or but it's very beautiful collaborative event to organize. So welcome, Doctor, and I'm glad
Thank you
to have you
so
here.
much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Dr. Howell. Thank you
yeah.
for having me here. And yes, a little bit about myself. As you have already touched on it, founder of a new Academy of Holistic Education. It is a nonprofit um, organization here in Las Vegas, Nevada since 2023. We've been open for 3 years now. And what it is a academy, which means a place of gathering, whether in person or remote. We gather to talk about holistic approaches to leading, teaching, learning, healing. It is a spiritual based approach where we address the whole person. So, the four pillar that we believe in that creates a human experience on this planet is our physical, our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual, all in balance for us to be human and experience this reality that we share. And as we strive towards innovation, whether it's in technology or in human connection, acknowledging the fact that we are a multidimensional, complex, beautiful vibration unfolding this expression of life together in partnership, in collaboration with other souls, is the premise that we begin everything. So we offer spiritual services like sound healing. We offer academic services like math tutoring. This year, we're launching our K through 12 private school um, that would address the whole child education for our Las Vegas community. We also offer homeschooling support programs, We mentor teachers and leaders and various educators and leaders in our community that works with specifically youth development, to give strategies and inspire the answers and solutions and um, creative, innovative ideas that comes from within to help navigate our reality, our life. We have a lot of challenges. It is meant to be there for our spiritual growth, and how to tackle it in a way that is compassionate, gentle to ourselves and others. So I have this amazing opportunity to attend a holistic education conference um, about a year and a half ago in Oregon, Southern Oregon. And that was the first time I met this network of holistic educators. They gather every other year around somewhere around the world. Sometimes it's in Canada, sometimes it's in Japan, sometimes who knows? I'm not sure all the places that this particular network has been, but for sure Canada, Oregon was a place where I got connected and met with all these wonderful educators who were bringing science to the table, science that validates, that proves the interconnectedness of the physical and the metaphysical world, how our thoughts manifest our reality, power of love, power of gratitude, these frequency is actually manifesting in our quality. We're co-creating our reality through our thoughts and our feelings. And this is not something that, oh, it's a beautiful idea and you put it somewhere. It's actually the core center of our our being and our reason why we're here on this planet. So it was a beautiful bridge between the academia and the spiritual coming together, the metaphysical, where the science and spirituality comes together. Really, science is catching up with spirituality. We're advancing in a way with technology, with AI, and different scientific methods that we can actually prove and measure spiritual experiences, how that relates to our health and our well being. So I thought this was an amazing gathering. They had some logistical challenges that our academy kind of jumped in and offer a space. Las Vegas has a great infrastructure for bringing people together from around the world, to move the conference, not necessarily move, but to offer it here in Las Vegas, the fifth largest school district in the nation. We're booming with families moving to the valley. And a lot of them are seekers of how best to nurture and care for our children. So it's such a great place and opportune time to be a encouraging solution for education, for youth development. So yes, that's kind of my story on my little bit of my background, how I found this network, and how we're inviting them to Las Vegas and create our own, make it our own, and continue and thrive. Because each community is different, and each community has its own unique needs and gifts that we can offer the world. So this is our first year trying this out.
Well, that is a beautiful challenge and opportunity
Mhm,
because what I hear too, my background is in healthcare,
mhm,
is that this holistic approach, right? We're talking whole person is the pieces that make us that in the container, so to speak, in this
yes,
body container,
yes.
right? Is that we are more than a physical body. And to understand the full scope of what healing can look like, right? What understanding ourselves, self-awareness, collective awareness,
Mhm,
and the beauty at this time is that, like what you just mentioned, science, you're bridging science to be able to measure these intangible experiences, right? The field, we have a body field, right? And that extends beyond the physical body. And but we also have these inner feelings, right? From when especially when we're focusing on what the heart knows, right? What the heart feels beyond the mechanical nature of the heart, right? That the heart is an organ that connects us to nature, to life, right? And so this is a beautiful time um, to bring such a program, and because you've experienced these holistic conferences in other locations, right? And it is an international um, sort of venue that draws different perspectives, right? Different perspectives, different um, career paths, different, like from teachers to uh, doctors to, you have educator. I mean, the educators in a way of like whether they're in the school system as far as uh, college education, elementary education, like, so in this full scope of what's being brought here is that professionals, right? In general, cross the spectrum of whatever you do. We're all human, right? We
That's
can
right.
agree. We're all human. We all have this same container that is multifaceted, right? Multidimensional. And I think what's important here too is how we language these things, right? Because there is an onboarding, there is a buy-in, right? To be able to make room for new information, to do something different, to do something that we can feel moves us from the inside, right? And honor that, right? Honor what we feel and without the judgment, especially if there's been challenges in life, personal challenges, what have you. But bringing a forum together like this, you are touching on many different aspects of what we're doing overall, right? From the technology point of view, right? With some of this education. So maybe you can speak to some of what the program entails with the speakers and the different types of subject matter that they might be bringing forth.
Yes, we're very, very excited and humbled, just grateful. The group of educators, innovators, leaders, people who are involved in medicine, healing, people who are involved in policy making, people who are putting a lot of creative energy into entrepreneurship, um, people who build buildings, people who take care of our forest. We're bringing people from many different backgrounds to come together to our place of gathering, the academy. In this case, the conference that we're talking about. And this is the first time that this particular network have have moved in that space where we're opening it up to so many different professionals because we see the interconnectedness of all things, that we believe we can sit together and learn and inspire innovation, compassionate innovation, when we speak and collaborate with somebody who has a different professional background. Um, True innovation or a very uh, change. What do they call it? The disruptive, innovative type of change makers are those who step outside of their box, their comfort zone, and ask question and show curiosity with many different types of people, many different types of profession, and they tweak their crafts. And that tweaking is the innovation. And because it's inclusive and it's in harmony with all that there is, it benefits so many at a soul level. Um, so we have speakers from from the forest. I love that. Miss Natalie Shannon. She's a forest technician. She's going to be speaking about nature and how nature influence our moods, our well-being, our state of being when we are interacting with nature. And I take my boys, my twin boys, up on the mountain and interact and play in nature. And they're so calm and they're so creative in a most interesting way, playing with the rocks and the twigs and interacting with the plants and the butterflies. And I'm bringing Miss Nally on board. I'm bringing you on board, Dr. Howell. You are a physical therapist. You work with the physical, but you understand there is so much metaphysical that is involved in true, deep healing. And you've shared so many amazing stories about your encounters, your spiritual encounters, and connection you make with your patients and in your field that ought to be shared and to be heard to a classroom teacher or a parent who's trying to homeschool their children or a a trustee or a board a director who's running a architecture business, whatever it may be. If we are doing something in the arena of of professional development, youth development, creating positive climate and culture, it's all relevant. This topic is relevant for all of us. We have principals, we have college professors, we have um, Tai Chi instructors, we have sound healers, we have artists. We're all coming together at this gathering at the end of this month, March 27th to the 29th, to share what's in our heart. And my spontaneous spiritual awakening I experienced 10 years ago happened from my heart. Like literally, physically, it happened from my heart. The heart in my pain lifted. And within seconds, my world, well, I don't think my world changed, my inner world changed. And because of the quantum leap that I've experienced within my inner world, my outer world began to shift. And at that moment, I truly understood what it meant to be co-creators of our reality. So if we want a more positive world, healthier, happier, thriving people, it has to start from our heart, from within. And that this is why this gathering is so profound and so beautiful. And I'm just over the moon excited to share this with our community.
Well, that's a leap in itself when you say that, because I think, from my experience as a physical therapist, to understand that from the physical point of view is more of the end point. It's what we see in the play out,
Mhm.
right? But it's not what's driving
Right.
the bus, right? This
Yeah.
body. And when
Right.
you come back to the experience of the heart, is that we are taking in and filtering life, right? Through our heart. And there's these nonverbal aspects of things that we don't quite yet understand. We don't have a term for it, right? We can call things like spiritual, but we don't really know what is spiritual, right? As it relates to faith, as it relates to religion. So, you know, terms can get in the way
Definitely.
of um, true understanding, right? True
Mhm.
embodied understanding and appreciation. And when you have, you know, an experience like that that really takes you completely out of your head, okay? Because
Mhm.
we're designed for survival and to protect and guard against all that stuff, right? But when you have an experience through a profound level of pain, right? Because we guard against pain. We medicate pain. We want to suppress pain, right? We want to
Mhm.
like go away pain, right? That kind of thing.
Yes,
But
escape
yet
from.
escape, yeah. And pain is a communicator. And
Mhm.
when we at some point allow this aspect of our communication system to express itself,
Mhm.
and we're not in the mind to construct a dialogue and narrative around it, it really will reveal. And now this can be a very sort of expansive conversation because
Mhm.
if someone has not yet had anything relevant to such an experience, this can be a very far stretch. Okay.
Mhm.
So that being said,
Mhm. Yes.
we want to find a way, and I list just a little bit of consideration and opening to possibility because nature truly, and I
Mhm.
love the idea of learning about the forest and just how much nature influences our well-being
Mhm.
and the connectiveness of all things, right? And especially when we're talking about electrons, atoms, molecules, right? Vibration,
Yes.
frequency,
Mhm.
right? And especially in this age of technology, we can touch a door to the car and the car opens, right? Without a key. We can, right? Those kind of things is that
Mhm.
we are this aspect of our energy system, right? This system that is moving and communicating with or without us being conscious of it,
Mhm.
it's still
Yeah,
happening.
it's
So
still happening. Yeah.
yeah, so this conference and what you're offering here through your academy is to bring this full spectrum holistic view and awareness with the tangible science, right? That allows us to kind of onboard someplace,
That's right.
and this onboarding starts with the consideration that something um, is possible, right? Like instead of like pushing back, we sort of get curious and the creativity and all this and go back to nature again. Nature inspires this, right? Through its beauty, through its aroma, through its the weather, right? And all kinds of stuff. So I really appreciate that we get to have this conference here and to promote it to help people understand that this is a beginning, right? It's a 3-day conference, but this is more than that because it's about your life, right? It's about learning about oneself and then allowing that organic nature, right, to start to move something within, right, to further expand, to explore, and for me, I mean, that's why I love what I do, and being able to help people translate what they're feeling,
Mhm.
and not fear what they feel, right?
Mhm.
How we
Yes.
can be with, how we can compassionately and openly, right, be with oneself. And yeah, in this collective space, right, this is going to bring so many different viewpoints. Art, right? You're talking about art, you're talking about
Yes.
sound, you're talking about, all of these pieces,
Nutrition.
nutrition, yeah,
Yeah.
everything Yeah,
Mhm.
so there's many ways that we are learning and communicating. And I think that it's really exciting, and I would encourage people to check out your website and what's being offered because they can come for a day, 2 days, all 3 days. I'm honored to be have been asked to speak, and for my subject is about the energetics of presence from a perspective of really being in the heart. And so I will expand more on my own personal journey in healthcare that really led me to um, deeper understanding, you know, the
Yes.
yeah, it's there's so much here. So, but just as you've had experience to kind of open up your perspective far from
Mhm.
what you knew before, that just kind of took you exponentially into a whole new way of,
Yeah,
right? Being and viewing life.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to touch on um, bringing Jack Miller, John Jack Miller. He is coming from Canada. He's a professor from University of Toronto. He is one of the original change maker, innovator who started this network, this particular network of holistic education. And he's been studying holistic education for over 40 years. And we're honoring him and dedicating this particular conference to him, to give him thanks and to communicate to him and the rest of the change makers and the trailblazers that we're going to continue this mission. It's the beginning, like you said, Dr. Howell. This is just the beginning, and they have done a lot of the fundamental framework, and a lot of these values and principle comes from the indigenous education and way of life. The Native Americans, the Aborigines, the Africans, people who have learned to live together in harmony. And at times, harmony doesn't feel good, but part of that wild nature, raw energy, um, their their principles are coming back, going back to the basic. That's what this is. This is not something new. This has been around. We're just now bringing it forefront, um, saying, hey, maybe we need to slow down a bit with our minds and the information and data that we can get just like that, and check in with ourselves, check in with our inner self, how we're connected to this planet. So we have a lot of indigenous um, energy that's coming back. We have a speaker from Africa. She can't physically be here, but she made a video expressing that there are schools are now beginning to open in Africa, different parts of Africa, that is interested and is embodying holistic approaches and pedagogy for teacher education training as well as for students and learners, and the spirit of the Ubuntu, that I am you because you are me, you're the reflection of me, that unity consciousness. It's been there. It's always, it's been everywhere, but that is being again spoke about, praised about, and people are singing about it, and people are beginning to mobilize. How do we make this the center of our anchor? Um, so it's very exciting. This is truly a global movement, and we love it that it is here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're the capital of many things: sports, entertainment. Um, we're bringing the culture, the education, and spirituality also in the mix of this dynamic city that we live in.
Well, that's super exciting. And you said, music too, because, music, again, we are tapping and
Oh,
accessing,
huge.
right? This this way of being, right? Frequency, memory, um,
Mm-hmm.
and this resonance, right? So all of these understandings of how we interplay with each other, with life, within ourselves, right? So there's so much here, and we could spend like hours and hours to have this conversation.
I know.
And but this is for me what moves me, what keeps me so curious about life, right? To raise my awareness, to focus on how I can best serve and support, right? My patients, my clients, and it starts with me, though. It starts with my presence to myself, to understand what am I bringing to the table, and to understand what is influencing me, what is influencing my beliefs, what is
Mm-hmm.
influencing my perspective, and how does that play out, right? So it's really to be aware and conscious and deliberate and purposeful in this life, right? And to let things that actually interest us, our passion, right? I realize I don't like to be bored, man. I really don't like to be bored because I mean, honestly, so so engagement,
Yes.
right? So that's a term I use a
Engagement.
lot, engagement. So, and
Mm-hmm.
in this space of being and doing and stuff, it's like we choose to have a meaningful life, right? And
That's
and
right.
it is intentional. So all these terms and things like that start to come up, and they do start to make sense when we drop in and actually tune in
Mm-hmm.
and recognize the things that bring us the deepest delight and meaning, even through pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if things didn't matter to us, it wouldn't hurt, right? A lot of times we can,
That's mm,
like pain is not a bad thing.
no.
Pain gives us information. Pain
Mm,
gives us a way to kind of like gets our attention, first
right.
of all,
Yeah.
and so instead of trying to like shut pain down, it's really to be with, right? How remembering that we can be with in a
That's right.
kinder, gentler way with ourselves, right? Because we have a wonderful onboard critic
That's
that can be
right.
very judgmental
That's
and
right.
harsh.
Yeah.
And yet we also have a very wise and compassionate heart.
That's right.
And so
We all have it, and we're
we do. And so I am very grateful that, you chose, you said yes to, yes, let's do it here. And so can you share the website that um,
sure.
people can go to
Yes.
and
Please learn more about this event at aumevents.org.
is
So
it
that's a
one event?
just it's all connected. AUM and spell out events, EVNTS
Mhm.
events.org. And everything from where this uh, conference comes from, how this conference is approved by the Department of Education here in Nevada. If you are a educator with a teaching license for your license maintenance or renewal, those PD credits are definitely available. If you attend this conference with our full conference experience ticket, you will have certificates and different opportunities to collaborate with the speakers. Um, um, all the biography and this amazing background of all the speakers are also can be found there. Our days program, yeah, everything is there when you go to aumevents.org.
And I think it is a nonprofit, right? Nonprofit
That's
structure.
right.
Is that correct?
That's right. Everything goes right back to how to further this movement, our mission and vision. So yes, we're a nonprofit, and yeah, money goes straight back into paying for the venue, paying for all these expenses that we have, to bring this to the forefront of our community. And our goal is to have this opportunity available on an annual basis.
Mhm.
Um, how big, how small, it doesn't matter. Those who wants to continue this dialogue, continue this fellowship, if you will, this gathering, um, we can do this on an annual basis if there is a need and demand and desire for it. And we want to put ourselves in a position to be able to host again. So, yes, money is energy. We need energy. We need circulation to thrive. That's part of our health of our organization. So, yes, we really appreciate it's been a very humbling, generous journey thus far.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to learn more from all the speakers so that I get to partake as I
Yes,
am contributing. I'm looking forward to it.
yes,
And
you're
so, but
Yeah, we're
I,
very excited to have you. You are one of our, oh, we're so many people are thrilled to meet you. And yeah, you're one of our special guests, special speakers. So we really thank you for opening your heart and sharing your wisdom with us and love with us.
we're all in this together, truly. And
You are.
again, I invite those who are listening, who are curious, who want to live their fullest, most meaningful life, and just step into a new way, right? And know that there is support, you know, there is support around you. And so if there's even a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a something, something, right? You just kind of, we learn to
Uh-huh.
trust these little, little cues, right? And so thank you
Right.
so much for your time today. And
Thank you.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I will share more information in writing, in a post to support where people can go to check out the event. And I do hope that um, something will move in you to consider, uh, those who are listening and watching to say yes to yourself, right? To say yes to how you want to live this life and being as purposeful as you can. And, in your heart of hearts, whatever it is that you do for a living, right? Parenting, teacher, you're professional, on the front lines, right? First responders, everybody. Like this is an event that serves the larger whole, and everyone is here, and everyone affects and influences. So we start with you, right? What is in your heart, right, to experience, and let us support you and get you on a path that may or may not be new to you, but I think that it's well worth the exploration and the journey. And so, Dr. Haugsness, Sheburra, thank you so much for your time. Okay,
Thank you so much for having me.
thank you.